Good morning. Suraj Singh, Civil Engineer, Bharat, India. Faridabad, Safety, Health and Environment. A routine subject, routine talk regarding safety, health and environment, which is linked with everybody in whatever field you work, in whatever profession you work. And it's very, very significant to understand this. And if you miss this, you miss something which cannot be calculated in values of money, which cannot be calculated anywhere else. It's very important, very significant to understand this, to know this. And if you miss this, means you miss life, you miss your prospect, you miss others' life. You cannot be a practice of others. You cannot be saviors of others. You cannot be a good professional. You could not be a good human. You cannot be a leader, and you cannot be a follower. You cannot be anything if you don't understand this. This is not only in engineering field. This is in every field, applicable everywhere in the world. If you are on earth or in the sky, wherever you are, it's very significant. I'm not joking. It's a fact of life. And if you don't understand this, means you miss everything. You can't even keep your family safe, you cannot keep your country safe, you cannot keep yourself safe, and you can lose your life. You cannot help others. It is so significant a subject, but this is not given adequate attention as it should have been given, as it deserves. We have to be very serious about this. But seriousness definition does not exist in country of that's known as Bharat, India. It exists in many countries, but not in all countries. Seriousness of what? Seriousness of activity, seriousness of concern, seriousness of everything. Life can be a serious one, and once you are seriously successful, you are happy, you lead happy life, and happy life includes serious life. Happy life doesn't mean smiling. Happy life doesn't mean jumping and climbing. Happy doesn't mean you have money. Happy means you are happy in contentment. That's called happiness. One has to understand happiness before understanding safety also. If you are safe, you are sure, you are well confident, not exclusively depending upon nature or luck, but doing everything possible that you can do as a man or as a human being, you get certain degree of confidence. And earning confidence means happiness, means satisfactory response to whatever challenge is made to you or made to one. It is challenge that has to be understood. It is a risk that has to be understood. And risk, once you understand and you know what risk is there, what are factors that contribute to address that risk, and you find out solution to each and every factor that contributes to that risk, you can find solution of each risk and then combine this solution to find a reliable solution, and that is called safety management or problem solving. It cannot be safety alone, it can be everywhere. In engineering, is medical, in whatever profession is there, in economics, in social sciences, and wherever one is involved, risk factor must be understood prior to attempt any kind of serious or non-serious work. You cannot even take that work is not serious as easy one, because sometimes non-serious works are also very difficult. That we have to realize in principle, in letter and spirit. Sometimes it looks very simple, it looks very easy, but when you find this, when work upon that, you find that that easy factor which was supporting your mind, supporting your heart, starts becoming complicated. And that leads you to wrong directions because you are not aware of that, you are not ready to face that, and not ready to not prepared to work on that, and that leads in incorrect direction, or you are misled. Why I'm saying all this? Because seriousness is very significant in whatever way you work, and once you get habit of working as serious person, you will not find many problems in your field. You will have pre-hand answer, pre-work answer, pre-activity answer in you. Means if this happens to me, I shall work accordingly. If this happens to me, I will work in that direction, and if this happens to me, I will take care like this. When that's this capacity, you make in you, you are a different professional. When you start something, You will not just think of working on that activity, you will think on precautionary activities that must be required. All fail in field because of absence of seriousness and precautionary measures required to be taken on whatever activity planned or misplanned or not planned. This happens in national, this happens in every country, this happens in politics, this happens in economics, this happens in general life, this happens in professional life, this happens everywhere. If we miss something, this means seriousness. Again, I tell you, seriousness doesn't mean having very serious face or very impressive face, having wrinkles on face. No, it's not that seriousness. Seriousness means happiness. I have different meaning of seriousness. One person who is serious must be happy because he has pre-hand solution, pre-work solution. He does not care about challenges because he has got answer. One has got answer to all possible challenges that one shall face in whatever work one is involved with. And once you know solutions, you don't have any heart attack, you don't have high blood pressure, you don't have any problem in your mind as well as health. There is no question of depression to enter your mind. There is no question of worry entering your mind because you are a clear person and you are a happy person. You feel pleased that I have answered to everything, and that is called a brilliant psychology. That is called a psychology that helps you. And one degree of psychology is positive. You have positive pressure on your mind. You have very clear field in your mind. There is no virus in your soul and your mind. You can move gradually, smoothly, and constantly. It's not the mad rush. No, it's not matters. It's constant profile. You are going on that work with what required speed, and you get your destination. All milestones en route that destination are met safely, and that is called satisfactory work. Satisfactory work, professional work, error-free work, which is required in quality system. Therefore, safety is a part of that work, and safety is also a part of quality system because there must be quality concern in safety, and safety is not simply work safety or dynamic safety. There should be safety of designs, safety of planning, safety every year, and matches and safety, and coincidences and safety. And safety doesn't mean physical safety. This means safety everywhere, in silence, invisibility, and in minds. There should be safe concern. Once you are safe in yourself, in your mind, you can make others safe. You can move safely. You can think safely, and safety automatically comes to your concern. Quality automatically comes to your concern. Where you are serious to that, we are used to that. That adaptability pays you in long run and short run. That we may understand, and we should understand like that. If you can understand that, you are a good professional, and if you cannot understand, then you will keep always sad. I have seen youth of today just in small, just working few hours a day. I am depressed. I am depressed. I have stress in my mind. I can't move further. I need this and I need that. That's the problem. There is no problem at all. That person is 30 years, that person is 25 years, that person 35 years, that age. How you can be serious to depression? How can be serious to stresses? I don't understand. Depression must be your friend, seriousness must be your friend, stress must be your friend. You must take them as friends. Once you are friend to them, you have befriended them, there is no question that you should be serious. In weeping state, you should be happy in seriousness. That is called life. That is called body. That is called resistance. That is called positive approach. At all times, I am very serious. I have stress. I am stressed. I am stressed. I have headache. I have migraine. I have this. I have this. Always pushing your spirit down onto your feet and then saying, I want to take rest, I have an agony. Remove all that. Remove all that because your soul is very important. Your soul is very powerful. Strength of your soul is spirit is very powerful. You must make yourself. Therefore, I'm saying safety, health, and environment. It's not simply safe. It's not simply physical health. It's a mental health as well. SHE and ergonomics. These four factors one should understand what is health, what is safety, what is environment, and on top of that, how to manage your quantity of energy you got in. I did not read all this in some books. I don't need that. Because once your soul is with you, when your nature is with you, once your mind with you, once your experience with you, once your pragmatism with you, you are a self-motivated machine, self-motivated person. You can analyze whatever is there and move accordingly. You are self-teacher, you are self-director, you are self-designer, you are self-operator, you are self-examiner, you are self-proof checker. You are having so many selves in you. So you are, who are you then? You are a fine spirit. You move accordingly and find problems and find solutions, and that's it. Why should then there be stress when your mind says this is solution and this is answer and this is a solution and this is complex answer? Make it simplified and do it. So why should you have depression then? Even if you have depression, you will digest that. Even if you have stress, you will digest. Even if you have headache, you will digest that, because your soul is very dynamic and in equilibrium. It's not in nervous state. That kind of environment you must have. It's not simply air environment, it's not simply aerospace environment. It is environment in your mind, in your body, in your soul. And when your environment is good, your body is good, your physique good, your brain is good, your depression is nowhere, your seriousness is good, you are healthy. And once you are healthy, your dynamic strength, you can move fast, you can move rapidly, you will be called efficient. So safety plus health plus environment is your professional work. You may be in professional technical, you are professional non-technical, you may be professional somewhere else in a shop, you may be professional somewhere else in a, wherever you work, you shall be fine enough. You shall be self-proactive, you shall be self-motivator, you will be others motivator, and you will accordingly. And that is called happiness. That I find errors in my work myself, I check it, I rectify it, and my mind is telling there's some error. I review that work of my own, and my okay, at that time I was in active mode and my mind did not allow me to pinpoint that mistake even after revision. So check it after few hours or next day or some other time, so that your cells are now not that active and you can find your errors. That is called psychological treatment. So what I am saying is, happiness doesn't mean you smile or you laugh or you have good eyes. Happiness means inside your soul and in your work and in your whatever work you do, whatever you do in life, you do with confidence. And confidence means chain of confidences. And when there's a chain of confidences, means there's a milestone of super confidence and building, confidence building measure you have. So you are a good person, you are a reliable person. And again, reliability, I'm telling you, reliability doesn't mean anything except some equation, and that equation is safe plus serve plus durable. These three products you have to deliver. You, whatever you are, you may be president or you may be a helper. You may be president or you may be a sweeper. You may be a PN, you may be engineer, you may be a doctor. These three activities must give you fourth one. Activity number one is safe or safety. Activity number two is what? Service or service ability. Activity number is three, and what? Durability. And if you sum all these three, equal to reliability. That reliability itself meaning artically, if you see this article, reliability means again, once you do, you are required again to do that, and further again to do that, and again to do that. Reliability, you are responsible for that, you are accountable to that, you have to do that. This property is very significant in profession, whatever profession you do. And if you are reliable, you are professional, you are current one, you are not a septic professional, you are not a dead professional, you are not an obsolete professional, you are a professional moving with stream and encountering bad stream, and that is called real professional. So we have to build ourselves to status of reliability professional, status of which are accountable professionals. Accountable means obliged professionals, and working professionals are expert professionals. And you can say that property you must have in work. If you are not confident, do this. First, make sure that you are right. If you are not confident, don't show that you can do it when you don't know it. If you don't know, ask it. Make it clear. Concept is very important. What is engineering? Engineering is nothing actually. It is value of genius. Engine itself means engine. We just understand whatever is taught to us. We never analyze on that. Engineer word itself comes from a person who uses genius. A person who is capable to use his genital power, use genius power. Genius power is very, very significant because it is related to genet, it is related to gentle, it goes to mind, from organic, gentle to organic mind. And that is therefore very active each and every moment. So if you are genius, means during sleep also you are genius. During work you are genius. During relaxing you are genius. During fatigue you are genius. During work you are genius. So ingenious you are, engineer you are. It doesn't mean you have a certification of degree. Whatever is working, and a mechanic who has no certificate of diploma or degree, he repairs car to satisfaction. That person is doing engineering job because he's genius. He's not just a physical person. He is using his mind, and when you use your mind in very powerful way, you produce something, you repair something, you reignite something, you renew something, and that is called certain power of intelligence, certain power of correction, certain power of reliving. That is called genius. In certain safety is involved there, certain services involved there, and certain durability is involved there. So you know safety very well. What is meaning of safety? You know what is meaning of service, whatever service you do, technical service or no other technical service, and you know what is durability. And durability itself says that suppose something was designed for 50 years, intended purpose is 50 years, and that item, that service or that delivery must work for 60 years or 50 years. It's called durability because period allowed for that life is 50 years. It should live for 50 years. If it stops from 50 years, it dies. This means your durability was questionable. And if it goes to 60 years or 70 years, this means this is value added service you did. You added more strength to your work, you added more design to that, you kept more safe and more serviceable and more lengthy, more life, and that is value added, and that is called valuation, that's called engineering value, that is a value engineering. We have to understand all this first. We jump to just say I stay safe. We are not concerned just physical safety. We are concerned with every safety, physical safety, mental safety, tension safety, stress depression safety. All factors of psychology of human being must be included in your consideration, and that is very, 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 very significant. Why I am explaining all this? Because you have to take into your values, into your measurements. When you check yourself, you examine yourself, where do I stand? It's not spiritual talk, it's engineering talk, because an engineer itself is a researcher. Every engineer is a researcher. Every engineer is an operational researcher. Doesn't mean you sit in laboratory and test. You are testing your work, you are testing your operation, you are trying to find some more solutions so that you revise method of your work, you refine it further, or you optimize it to best requirement. And that is also part of research. Operational research is more important than basic research, because basic research just provides a formula. The operational research provides value engineering on that, value added on that, and that is more important because formula cannot be changed immediately. There is no mathematical calculation. It's based on results of field experiments, and that is not possible to amend it within 1 year or 2 years. It moves for hundreds of years and decades. But your activity, that every day you work, every moment you work, every hour you work, that activity depending upon what type of circumstances you have, what type of people you have, what type of equipment you have, what type of other resources you have, what type of management you have, what type of you can say country you have, what type of people are there, what type of systems are there, what type of encouragement is there. You can keep changing methods or procedure of doing whatever activities there, and best extraction of useful results is called engineering. If you can add life to that, if you can add quality to that, if you can add safety to that, if you can add, you can say, price to that, if you can add whatever positive you can add to that, that is called value added. Price doesn't mean commercial price, I'm talking price means something else. So we have to make sure that it is not simply university learning we have. We have different type of learning. University may give you certain formula, use this formula and do it. Because of derivation, you got that formula, or by empirical methods you get that formula. Derivation and empirical methods are limited, means empirical method shall come only when you have some records, some tests, or some site works, or some observations from field, or statistical data from field. You just use them further and further by interpolation or extrapolation of that data. You get more and more data. Similarly, formulas are set by mathematical, which you understand mechanism of something, and by understanding that mechanism, you drive something from that and use that in mathematical calculation formula, applying your various actions in horizontal or vertical way or inclined way or whatever way is there. You use certain defined formula which is used directly. You have parameters based on that, and you get answer in units, certain defined units. But what I am saying is, as an engineer, you have to develop many more formulas for your own. People may call them thumb rules. These are not thumb rules. These are mental rules. These are based on your experience. So I say that it's not simple engineering, it is a practical engineering, it's, you can say, professional engineering. Professional engineering is different from normal engineering. Normal engineering just gives you certification. If you keep with and enjoy your life, don't do anything, it's no more professional. You must be having any degree of engineering, whatever degree you have, but if you don't use that, this is nothing. Same thing, those people who got different types of varying degrees, that degrees are not useful, that cannot be called professional degrees. Professional engineering, professional education means an education you received, you got, you updated yourself, enriched yourself, must be applied. And that's why science and applied sciences are different spectrum. Applied sciences having quantity, having dimensions, having dynamism, having spectrum, whereas basic sciences are traded sciences, meant restored sciences. It's not easy to change them, it's not easy to argue on them, it's not easy to do something. Those take time to change, but applied science work every hour, every day, and this benefits society. If there's an error, it can be known. If it is right, it can be known. If there's no quality, so is everything is known, results are known. We have to see ourselves, where do we stand. I'm not saying everybody should be an engineer, but engineer doesn't mean certain certification. Engineer means engineering mind. Again, I'm saying, if you are a genius person, you are an engineer, and genius person means very important mind. So come back to system now, come back to work now, come back to talk of safety. We have to understand that safety is not children play, it's a play of everybody. Sometimes you don't even know what's going to happen, but it happens suddenly. You say, oh, it happens naturally, or it's a calamity. No, nothing is calamity. If you understand that it is rain time, it's monsoon time, certainly it's monsoon time. Yes, you will expect rains. And if you say, no, it's no monsoon time, you expect rain, that can be a surprising one. A cyclone can be a surprising one, but now we can even predict that. What I'm saying is, we have to be professional in a professional way. We should not be professional just by showing our tags that I am having such degree. Degree is there as a message. It's necessary. It's a must, but only for gate, not for inside tourism. If you go inside tourism, you need experience. You need understandable mind. You need a mind that is hungry. You need the mind that is thirsty. You need the conscious that must move in. That's what you need. It's very important. It's not a lecture of imagination. It's a lecture of hypothecation. No, it's a practical base. Means you have in a day of say 12 hours working, at least you should enjoy 1 hour just to see yourself what you have done today, how you have done, where you made mistakes, where you could avoid that, you ignored that, or you ignored because of some people did not inform you correctly. There can be any reason, whatever reason is there, you have to chart out that reason into mind and analyze what mistake, how it reached. So next time you must have that care, and that is called progression, that is called advancement, that is called operational research, that is called learning, lesson learned. But if you miss that again, you make same mistake again, then you cannot be called an engineer. An engineer, E-N-G-I and W-E-R. En means in or up. Then en root we call on roots, on, en is on, and G-I-N-E-E-R, join, on intellectual path you are. So you have to earn that, you have to, you can say, prolong that, you have to empower your engineering, you have to empower your mind, strengthen it, and you make it more and more efficient, so that you don't feel stress, you keep yourself advanced, you keep yourself updated, and you keep others updated, and that's called brilliance. Means you are like sun, you are like nature, you are a part of nature. Nature accepts you as its representative because you are not doing anything against nature, but you are supporting it as a body that prepared, that made you, that delivered you from nature. You are supporting it. For example, I got one news from this Iceland regarding carbon dioxide extraction from air. There was one scientist there tried to extract carbon dioxide from air, extraction of carbon dioxide from air, and then liquefying it and pushing in or pumping into rocks in ground. See, phenomena is the mind. Means there's carbon dioxide available in air. If we try to extract that out and pump it into ground below in rocks, where it stays permanently, it doesn't come out, and you do it on large basis, what would be the result? Carbon dioxide content shall disappear from air. Means you will find lesser pollution, then and air will be gradually cleaned. So it's a brilliant mind. So one analyzed why it's happening because of this carbon dioxide existence in air and everyday development and augmentation of its value, of its quantity. Why not delete it? Why not, you can say, diminish its quantity gradually and take it out from that gas, so that other gases only work there, not carbon dioxide. It's not bad if it happens. This is science, but if it is successful, it will be engineering. It's called intelligence. What then we should do? This means we should learn. We should learn that. Learn everything. I talked in past videos about safety, about health, about environment. It's continuously going on. I reached something topic of excavation, etc., which I will continue. But before that, I would like to advance something, because that will go on. No, as routine will go on. I would announce something that I participated somewhere on some safety talk, formal talk, but time given was very short, just 10 minutes you can say, which is not adequate time to talk to people, and those distinguished people was very well qualified, like engineers, like professors, like the students, and those high profile team. But if in 10 minutes time it's not very convenient and practical to explain certain topic on subject of engineering safety. So no problem. I was not happy with that. I could not even complete my presentation, but I tried to share it with you now because very significant, and we must learn something. It's not my original work. It's a collection from various sources, and I should now read that paper here so that it is useful. You may get something, or no problem at all if you don't even get something, but something is better. It's better if you have something here. I'll go through that. Just blow it up. One, yeah. Yes, and so just I put already this text on video text. You can go and see that it's written by. Now brief of this is that it's my address is given there, the email number, email ID is given there. After that, you can see my email ID is written there, my number is written there. It's 981061078 is number, and then Suraj underscore engineer at yahoo.co.uk. Now, submission related to SHE, right? This submission of paper relates to SHE to be conducted. Wait a minute. Yes. Submission relates to SHE to be conducted on civil buildings and facilities, heavy works where large number of workers are with dedication deployed at both locations, indoors and outdoors, at ground and at heights. Workers are exposed to all weather conditions, which leads to long-term possible danger of health deterioration and work-related fatal accidents caused due to fatigue and carelessness. Also, instant dangers are susceptible all times, which can only be prevented by application of SHE measures in reality and not just for name's sake. It has been observed in many cases that various nationality workers do not like, partly not to wear hard hats and safety harness, partly during bad weather conditions. Supervising personnel do not attend to this issue, ignoring it, whereas SHE specific personnel also do not work with dedication. Various systems required procedures are referred in this paper, which which may assist working personnel in construction projects. So this is just brief of this, and then I've written my own qualification search. Nothing to do. You can go there. No need of telling here now. Now I'm going to tell the general public safety from current inclement weather, daily weather report, reference, an example it is. It's not part of main paper, just an example, precautionary information it is. And this is the data which I have taken from accuweather.com, and this is related to my own area, Faridabad. And now, for example, temperature is mentioned. That is temperature, current temperature, and then it's in some winds from which direction, etc. And humidity is mentioned there. This is, for example, 75 to 85%. Say unacceptable gives feeling of added temperature when moisture evaporates, which leads to rise in heat index. Then there's a pressure, for example. Well, no, it doesn't matter. It should be pressure. We know what should be pressure in area is about, and then you can say this is a 1002.00, for example. This pressure is 1002.00 mercury bulb, and then U index, which is very important, 14. Let us say unacceptable. Why? I am saying UV index means ultraviolet index. Just 40, let us say, or 15, let us say, or 10. What is this? It's unacceptable. An explanation. Now, what I explained briefly, it should be 0 in morning and evening. But between 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., ultraviolet index UVI has been varying up to value 15, but should be 0 to 4, whereas 10 is maximum limit. UVI is 5 to 15 is extremely dangerous, for it can cause skin cancer on exposed part of body. can cause cataract, etc., and can also cause skull impact. Body must be fully covered, and bigger size eyeglasses be used. Use creams that are ultraviolet resistant. Use ultraviolet resistant clothes. And cap. Go to shade during this UVI state of higher value. Avoid driving and travel. Stay off windows glazings. If glazing is not tinted for more than 75% solar light reflection, Europe, nations and US have been impacted upon by heat index and UV index in year 2019. France reached 38 degrees Celsius, US reached 38 degrees to 42 degrees Celsius. No way for relief to these cold weather habituals. More demands of air conditioners and more concentration of carbon dioxide and more pollution. Then there's a cloud count which is 95 to 5%, which is acceptable. Doesn't cannot just have this. It's not in our control. Then ceiling, which is a 9.5 meters to 9 kilometers acceptable. Then dew point is 20 degrees Celsius, which may be acceptable. Then visibility is 16 kilometers or 10 kilometers, depending upon what is their status, acceptable. So this is all just informative mechanism. And just because it's very, very important, let us say ultraviolet index and you can say heat index are very important issues in these points of consideration, because heat index means the whole no, it's not very hot in here currently, but it will be every time. Heat index means there is a temperature in the weather. You say this is temperature, as well as there is a moisture content, relative humidity. If suppose relative humidity is 55%, 60%, 70%, 80%, 90%, it's a question mark. Means what shall happen to that water particle, that is suspension with air particle. Means with temperature of 40 degrees, let us say 35 degrees, let us say 42 degrees, let us say that water content shall evaporate. Of course, evaporate in that temperature, not 100%, but to some extent this will evaporate and give more heat to already available temperature. So some of temperature heat or thermal heat evolve due to temperature, and also heat that evolve due to evaporation of those water particles which are ever held by you can say air particles. That adds to two more heat up, means thermal energy is increased, thermodynamics heat is increased, and that is called heat index. That's very important. And then you come back to other one, and that is UVI, that's ultraviolet index. Ultraviolet index is generally acceptable from 0 to 10 units, because the number up to 3 or 4 it doesn't cause major problem, but if you move further 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, I have seen a person having no difficulty with that. We have to ensure how to use it. As I said in last para, that we should have good vehicle, we should have good clothing, we should have good chapels, so that we should get what we should know what is good, what is bad. If we have to buy for sake of buying, it has got no meaning until you control it. Protection from that must be taken, because ultraviolet index is very, very dangerous to human skin. It affects your skin in a very dangerous way. Say ultraviolet index is 10, it is 9, it is 8, it is 11, 12, 13, 14. It directly impacts upon your body, upon your internal of body, because these ultraviolet rays increasing in quantity and penetrate on your head, on all surfaces of your body. In particular, those areas where you are exposed, for example, face is exposed, arms are exposed by some people, and some people don't use very good leg coverings. All that add to work of ultraviolet rays in the attack on us, and that is very dangerous to work in that temperature. Heat, these rays can be stopped to some extent from entering your home, even through the glass windows. These are not open. Your other windows are not open, and your airplanes are open. But airplane doesn't mean everything. This affect all farmers. Please rise. Those farmers generally work in field and open. So their skull is exposed to that. Well, they are using some puggery or something else. That's a protective way. But otherwise, you will have effect if you don't your pant and shirt and what they feel. Wearing this thonga and using this thonga and bihari. All this is nonsense. So we have to understand what we want. You have to go to that one. It all the views and all the views and all the other material layers. Ultraviolet index, when this impacts on your arms, or for example on those portions which are not covered one, it can cause impact, can cause a harm to your skin. It can cause in long term or short term skin cancer, skull cancer. Also because of its heat, its heat waves are there, heat you can say heat flows are there. This can enter your eyes as well, and your eyes are very soft. You cannot close your eyes. Even if you wear spectacle, you must have very big spectacle so that there is limit to what this ultraviolet rays enter your eyes. And once enter your eyes, it can damage your eye power. There can be development of like as a cataract, and further there will loss of heat from your body. I'm not just telling you for sake of telling. This is very serious issue, particularly in those days when there is heat, when there is rain. Heat, this heat, rain also you can say augments this value. It gives because it's shining on more reflection goes to you due to water shining, rays are there, shines more, and we have to take care of that. I already told what care should be taken, and it's very important to take this. You cannot allow workers to work in 11 or 10 UV. They will get sick and they will get, you can say, scratches on the body, and that is very bad for your kid, for your child. Well, I just try to say that don't be so sure, nothing happens to you. Forget fashion, keep your health good. If you're just interested in fashions, then fashions will not save you from your injury of body. That's what I say is very, very significant. Now I go to the next part of this is the main paper as such, which is industrial safety, civil construction buildings, oil projects. I'll give you a small because there's so many pages in this. Maybe I cover. I don't know if cover all those pages or not. I just speak and briefly have a discussion on that. Possible controls to be considered. Only few we talk. That is plant facility. For example, to start with plant facility project. First of all, let me understand. Or let me tell you. Let me exemplify what is a plant facility. You see, in construction field, it's very wide, dynamic, where you can say it's like ocean over the world. Construction facility they involve many disciplines with them. It's not civil engineering alone. It is civil, it's electrical, it's mechanical, it is computer, it is many more areas are involved in this. So it's a kind of gigantic world onshore, which you have to stay there for months and travel the site whenever you are free. No need of compulsion, but I know that you will not feel free. So, when there is a development in any country, in whatever country, you have to develop facilities. Of course, there are available facilities, but I'm just telling you basics that there are two kinds of economies. One economy is to develop further economy, and one economy is you have to create resources so that these can add to your economy by earning that from say by export or by some other means. And if there's no export on that, you have to evaluate yourself according to your country. No need of any fault of that. Again, I'm saying a project is a big one. For example, and few there's a plant that they are using all petrol and diesel, all that, and whatever byproducts are there, whatever waste materials are there, they are using for some other items like plastics. This is we know now the plastics bad, and 10 years before, nobody was addressing this point. There was a problem or no problem. A green project means a project which starts from scratch itself. You are using some production waste from some refinery plant, or we may call it any other plant. Personal on that shall give the same problem when you are not internal. Now we have to understand this. A project which is already existing, for example, a refinery is existing, if a cracking plant is existing, a gas plant is existing, by what a plant exists, a plant means a big processing unit. Plant doesn't mean a machine only, it means a big plant which may be having processing area, which may be having utilities area, which may be having your control buildings, which may be having many substations, which may be having warehouses, which may be having your administrative area, and you may be having some seawater cooling system. You'll be having many more lagoons, for example. You'll be having many more swimming pools, for example. And this can be there for staff, for purpose, temporary purpose. And there may be external light coming from grate, and all are tapping for that. That is very, you can say, conceptual issue, even for engineers who are new or old. Yes, there may not be a formula, understanding what their what type of building is going to make. Well, we go further on this. It costs, you can say, billions and billions rupees or dollars to make such projects, to promote such projects. And there is thousands of workers from all fields and hundreds of professionals from all fields. And you can say how many transports, buses, cars, autos, how many materials, and how many other resources are available and are useful for us. You cannot allow that money go waste. It must be used properly. There must be a system that should control you economically. It's not simply that I'm doing this and that's so. No, you have to see that your economy should be useful. You spend money on something that must be useful, not simply wasted and forget that. After all, it's a question of money. So let's say possible contents to be considered. Only few we will talk. Example, management. You can say project safety policy must be there, project safety policy, safety management system, organization chart. Let us say, for example, hmm, site security, which is guard linked to personal entry, passes, vehicles passes, and fencing, SCADA, etc. Discuss supervisor control and data acquisition is called SCADA, SCADA, supervisory control and data in Indonesia. Then safety training is PPEs, work at height, work at facilities, fire handling, dust storms, dust controls. Then it is, you can say, dynamic filter. Hmm. Then you can say that first aid regulations, complete references, trained workers, PPEs, which is personal protective equipment, and RPE, which means further extension. Okay. First aid regulations, complete references, trained workers. PPE, personal protective equipment, and RPE, R stands for respiratory protective equipment. Then hand tools, power operated manual. Hmm. The operation areas, let's say, sorry, this is hand tools is power, operative and manual, as well as housekeeping, offices, work areas, offices, work areas, and residences must be kept tidy. Now, operation areas, I'm just giving you a brief, it's not explanatory, just to inform you what was intended by me to contribute to health and safety in construction and others. Hmm. Operation areas, turn off first of all, sorry for your operation areas, permanent works, permit to work, since a confined space entry, hot work, cold work, then excavation safety, which is from existing live services and new activities controls, temporary electrical supply for relevant activities, too significant. Safety during reinforcing bars, fabrication placements, and fabrication erection of forms and concrete concrete pouring, precast units, handling controls for below ground and above ground. Then say above ground works, concrete and weather temperatures, structural steel, erection control, safety controls during rendering, plastering, and use of chemicals, ground paint. So I defined operations in very brief for 5 or 6 lines, which is again is permit to work, PTW, confined space entry, hot work and cold work, excavation safety, so from existing live services and new activities control, temporary electrical supply for relevant activities too significant, and safety during reinforcing bars, fabrication placement and fabrication erection of forms, then then concrete pro- concrete pouring precast units, concrete oxen, sorry, mm, mm. So safety during reinforcing bars, fabrication placement, fabrication erection forms, and concrete pouring, precast units, handling controls for below ground and above ground, and works, concrete and weather temperatures, structural steel erection controls, safety controls during rendering and observing. Okay, I don't want to sleep, just go further. Very vertical, these are just horizontal, I just told you. Safety controls, grinding, plastering, use of chemical points out. Vertical activities of preparatory and temporary works, let's say, lifting, rigging, and hoisting, do not play with engaged equipment, etc. And working at height and fall prevention, that's working at height and fall prevention. Then scaffolds and ladders, steel scaffolding and metallic ladders, construction environment control, wet services, sewage containment, waste disposal, concrete truck washing, and there's a site circulation control, material handling, and you can say specialized considerations are just night working, night working when unavoidable, reduced timings, illumination control, noise control, fire protection, extinguishers, water storage, temporary cable, temporary cables controls, escape route information, hazards controls, control storage and use of hazardous materials, radiography operations, isolated nights activity, road safety and vehicles operations and defensive driving must save others. Road safety and and vehicles organizations, mm, vehicles operations and defensive driving must save others and yourself, and no rash or speed driving. You can say radiography operation, isolated networking. Now, the bad weather, heat, stress, and weather-based information and indicator about security of others are welding and welding and cutting, aggressive wheels, and compressed gas cylinders, controls, site practices, site work, a reward system. Right. There's a lot of controls. Let's say safe practices, safe work, and reward system. Then disciplinary enforcement, inspection, and audits. Officers, let's say emergency and evacuation plan on industrial process, project sites, operating facilities, incident report. Then for the work specific resource examples, construction safety basis. All right. So it's very boring, of course, but it's very interesting. I'm unfortunate I can get that time to speak here in full. So it's just accident reporting and resources. Examples are construction safety relevant sketches. Oh, we should have, sorry, organization broad quality system. We should have organization adopts a policy of lead contracting to a developed nation. Organization adopts a policy. It's a lead policy. It's the organization broad quality system policy. We have to understand what policy we should adopt. Organization types of policy lead contracting and lead contracting with each developed nation. Every nation for every nation is valid. Organization believes in to produce, deliver with assurance each test engineering products at optimum cost using efficient, available and procurable infrastructure and resources to serve reputed customers. Clients' needs by action of which to earn its reputation. SHE related requirements must be included within project charter. Hmm. See what I'm saying? Oh, I'm not saying it's written here. Organization believes into produce, deliver with assurance each best engineering products at optimum cost. Usually using efficient, available, and procurable infrastructure to to sit. Alright. Once again, I say it's very interesting. Organization believes in to produce. Organization believes in to produce, deliver with assurance each best engineering products at optimum cost using efficient, available, and procurable infrastructure and resources to serve reputed customers, clients needed by actions of physical offset and hmm, procurable infrastructure, see, and resources to serve reputed customers, clients needs by action of which to earn its reputation. SHE related requirement must be included within project charter. What is project charter? Not something. Or somebody say I'm chartered engineer or you are chartered engineer. What does charter mean? It means that you have placed some wins a job, he's not happy. He's not happy job. Um, okay. Mm. An attempt is required earnestly to deliver products of projects efficiently with value added, value engineered over to fulfilling requirements. Mm. Customer must get what has been paid by for such delivery. Value engineered, I already explained to you as a leader, a project chart I'll explain to you, just pending now. Customer must guess what has been paid by for such delivery. Value engineered delivery certifies and assures organizational commitment in competitive environment. Right? Value engineered delivery yes, certifies and assures the organizational commitment in competitive environment. Then top management believes to employ stable qualified key managers and willfully, willfully can say help do it. Value engineered delivery certifies and assures organizational commitment in competitive environment. Then top management believes to employ suitably qualified key managers and and very senior. Okay. Then you can say top management believes to employ suitably qualified key managers and personnel with proven track records of professional base, international professional base, considerable construction, relevant business experience. Say project charter. What is project charter? Every professional company which deals with contracts from the people, they must have a project charter must be available, which gives complete details of project in brief, what losses are expected, the losses. Okay. And, and we'll see that. Definitions regarding this project charter, first of all, let us finish that. Project charter, just I took in first paragraph, the second paragraph, again I repeat that one. SHE related requirements must be included in project charter. And project charter means what? Are you certifying this project? Charter, okay. Charter, just like you say chartered engineer, just like you say II charter, just like you say charter of president, just like the charter of Bharat, India constitution is charter of Bharat. You should say that way. Constitution of, for example, say Bharat Sanvidan, actually it is charter of all officers or all people or authorities or powers embedded in that constitution. Similarly, charter means a legal right, you can say. Similarly, you can say charter is a right given by power of that country, for example, king of that country, or by some government of India or the government of some other country that gives statutes, and that's also called charter. Charter means a written right given by sovereign, a right that explains what you are, and that's the exclusive one, that's like letters patent. No one can change that. It is a charter given by government, by president. Every institution, every body must accept. Yesterday I was so unsure Suppose someone came here for worship, they don't do something or they were too late, that one, and village charter must speak what it is want, what's the budget of that, who's doing that, what stakeholders there, who's owner and who's engineer, who's contractor, and who's this and that, subcontractor, or whoever else are related to that one, directly or indirectly, who get benefit of that, they're all include charter. And the charter includes all of them. It's a document that keeps on track, and that must be, you must be kept track because of the document. It must say what is milestone, it must say what's the date of completion, it must say what its cost is, how much profit there will be, it must say what materials are required, it must say what's long lead item, it must say what we have to take care of, whether we need first tenders or we need silent investigation, everything is defined in brief. That's what the charter. Then you have to see that how it works. Because charter cannot be kept in your shelf. You have to write that, you have to make that, sit every month and see what happened, what's progress, how much you get it, are you getting more directions, are you getting a milestone, if you not get a milestone, why you don't get a milestone, you have to record everything of that, who's project engineer, who's project manager, who is doing, who is not doing, where you are failing, why you are failing, what reason is there, you have to learn lessons through current stage of that project and amend that accordingly. And this applies from engineer, from director, from contractor, for everybody, because everybody is stakeholder, who is engineer, who is public, and who is engineer, who is safety man, who is this, who is quantity responsible, all that must be there in brief. And that's where it started. It must tell you where you may find risks. It must tell you in advance where can be risk. It should study everything, but do not leave to nature alone. This is very charter. It tells you what's happening in this very charter. Even if a name comes of something, it doesn't want any assistance, that Vivek is a chapter. So, you understand chapters means it's complete description on what you are working. If there's some errors, there's a deviation, there's a misdirection, there's miscontrol, and stakeholders are not happy, you think there are more stakeholders than that, you can amend every time, every day, and you can publish what you have done, should be accepted by chairperson or by vice chancellor, whoever is there to look into that. So we can do later on also further discussion on this. The definition regarding certain terms included in safety plans. We already discussed in other videos, but let us, because this is a very significant paper. We must list all this. We must know about it again and again and again and again. I'm feeling drowsy because I don't know why. I think it's a long talk every day, 2 hours, 1.5 hours, or maybe sometimes 3 hours. It depends upon weather, it depends upon signals and all that, because I'm getting disturbed with everything. And that's why I feel tired sometimes in the morning, or taking a coffee in the morning around 3:30, 3 o'clock, and posting some news or some post relevant news, so people are kept aware, and then it's a hell just to answer something directly. It's just not possible for me or for anyone, but I can do that. I know this much. Well, let's go further with that. Definitions regarding certain terms related to or included in safety plan. Safety plan. What is safety plan? Um, Safety plan doesn't mean activity plan for solar understand what's it. It's plan for entire safety of project. Its plan of safety policy, what should be its plan of everything company uses or contractor uses, or they intend to improve that depending on what activities are moved. And this very, in that case, very experienced one. Because we go the real estate projects and buildings of bridges projects, all those, there's a high degree of safety explosion that must be taken care of. And we know the real law, real talk. We should be careful about. All right. Safety, SHE, means safety, health, and environment. And this disciplines to support project activities. It's a discipline. It's not complete in itself. It's a support, but it's very significant. It's more than equality. It's more than engineering because it allows others to work. If the collapse, the SHE collapse, you cannot work. So it's your soul, it's your spirit, it's injection to you. It's a very strong tablet to you. It's a disciplinary nature to those who don't care about others. Hmm. Then it's a further company client means an organization carrying out prosecution criteria. Right. That's what company client means an organization carrying out or prosecuting project. A company client. Hmm? Then contractor means organization that has won that project from client or company. Subcontractor means an organization that has one part of a project. Go further. We have to understand one by one means don't be in hazard way and don't be in rash way because this is all practical. If you just go fast and speaking, this will not understand anything. It takes time, but it should be clear. As a further subcontractor. This means an organization that has one part of a project work from contractor organization. We will understand the meanings later on with this further explanation on all these titles of job, everything is there. And most after examination, maybe they change it to for right. Then go further, this more than subcontractor. Away of that, this is personal means. This is personal means all personal involved on project site activities. Personal doesn't mean only contractors personal or consultant or engineers personal. It means all personnel involved on the project directly or indirectly, tacitly or not tacitly. Then responsibilities means job safety and contract responsibility. And furthermore, then is training. Training means training imparted for a specific safety topic on, on line management. Further, that responsibility, job safety and contract responsibility, and training means training imparted for specific safety on job site. Management means organization, top, middle, and lower line management. And Then further go. Management means hmm, management is organization, top, middle, and lower line management. Organization, top, middle, and lower line management. Then safety manager means a person with job title safety manager, deployed by certain organization. And project manager means a person as such with PM title deployed by contractor. Engineer means a person appointed by client or client company for an for an hotel project with those responsibilities. Overall project responsibilities. Then MD, MD2, MD which is you know overall that. Then let's go against what responsibility was considered for this is certain terms which are very brief and this there may be many more. The main what is safety I explained to you. Safety, health, and environment means safety, health, and environments disciplines to support project activities and it's a company, what's client means the organization carrying out prosecuting project and then contractor means organization that has one project from client subcontracting means we just say states of sub stakeholders and say personal means all personal. So we have to be very clear about this. Then what is subcontractor, subcontractor, then personal I explain and responsibilities I explained about job safety and contract responsibilities and training means what training is there. Management means organization top, organization middle and lower management, line management, safety manager means what I explained, same project manager and engineer means what is their company safety policy including safety plan. What should be included in safety plan is to prepare for a particular project. Responsibility of senior management, responsibility of site management and employees, accidents and dangers related control procedures, definition, etc. You must define safe use and maintenance of plants and safe use and maintenance of vehicles and safe use and maintenance of tools, equipment and machinery. Provisions of personal protective clothing and equipment. And training of employees of all cadres. And mm, then you can say then training of employees of all cadres and provision of feedback from all personnel for safety consultation. That's site official policy. Okay. Then issue of safety policies or statements for individual sites, properties and premises. So I just repeat means what is policy in plan should be. Plan can be varying depending upon type of project and number of people and what actually which department it belongs to, where to. Says responsibilities of senior management, responsibilities of site management and employees, and accidents, dangers related control, procedure and data acquisition contain lens, the stress, lens, then say issues of safety policies or statements for individual site, properties or premises, site safe access and egress, and you can say feedback from all personnel. Let's say differently now what supervisors and foremen actually are to understand what they should do, what they are. We say supervisors and foremen are very significant line managers. Hmm. Supervisors and foremen are directly responsible for HSE acts conducted by all personnel working following their directions and controls. Then frequent frequent titles are more significant. Right. Then supervisor, I'm just telling supervisor and foreman. Supervisors and foremen are directly responsible for HSC acts conducted by all personnel working following their directions and controls. Then ensure that all written safety procedures are available with responsible personnel and persons say out and supervisors and professional foremen are directly responsible for SHAX acts are conducted by all personnel working following the can say ensure that all written safety. Who is to ensure? These people have to ensure that all safety are content. Let's go further. Ensure that all written safety procedures are available with responsible personnel and also briefly posted on notice boards in language workers known script. Ensure that general toolbox stocks are duly delivered to related groups and refresher toolbox stocks are conducted. What is refresher talks? Is people know about talks. Maybe they were told somewhere else in other projects, but they forget. Doesn't mean they do not know, they know, but they have to refresh. They have to tell again. They have to be told again, you did this last week, you forget this, or do it again. Because everybody is different. Yes, ensure that workers calling in their departments are competent and fully trained on performing tasks, callings, and well aware of company safety policy. All right, let's go further. Yes, this thinking is very important. Start running there. You have to speed up. When we speed up there. But here we cannot speed up like that. We have to teach, we have to learn. So I was talking general toolbox stocks and that was general toolbox stocks are duly delivered to related groups and refresher toolbox stocks are also conducted. And workers calling in their departments are competent. Ensure that workers working in their department calling in departments are competent and fully trained on performing tasks, callings and well aware of company safety policy. Then must ensure that all workers are aware of any whatever possible hazardous operation or procedure regarding well-being of you know, teachers, lecturers. Yeah. Okay, let's go further. Must ensure all workers are aware of any or whatever possible hazards, a charter's operation or procedure regarding work, site, department, and operation or allotted task activities. Ensure that all workers are aware of location and how to use any all relevant firefighting equipment. Ensure that all workers are aware of location of all first aid facility together with name of qualified first aid personnel. Ensure that all safety procedures are followed with. Ensure that all equipment, machinery, plant, tools, vehicles, etc. in use are fully serviceable and safe to use. Ensure that all safety devices on any, all machinery, plant, tools, vehicles, etc. are fitted. They can say ensure that all equipment, machinery, plant, tools, vehicles, etc. in use are fully serviceable and safe to use, and ensure that safety devices on and uh, ensure that all safety devices on way are all machinery, plants, tools, and then and say all safety devices on any all machines, plants, tools, or women, or, then come on further. Hmm. Hmm. Ensure that any or whatever necessary personal protective equipment or clothing is being used or worn is suitable for intended purpose. Ensure that no loose or dangerous clothing is being worn by engine equipment plant on the site. So what I'm saying is ensure that any whatever necessary personal protective equipment or clothing is being used or worn is suitable for intended purpose. Ensure that no loose or dangerous clothing is being worn by equipment and relevant, correct? Relevant, yes. Yeah. No. Ensure that no loose or dangerous clothing is being worn by equipment plant, machinery operators, or other workers in vicinity or rotating और ट्रैवर्सिंग मशीनरी और इक्विपमेंट। सेफ्टी के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं, थोड़ा हिंदी में बात कर रहा हूँ कुछ लोगों के लिए। मैं शायद हिंदी में इतना बात नहीं कर पाऊंगा, लेकिन एक ब्रीफ बताना चाहता हूँ कि दूसरी हिंदी की ट्रांसलेशन अभी मैंने तैयार नहीं की है उन लोगों के लिए जो शायद ज़्यादातर पाकिस्तान और भारत के हैं या बांग्लादेश के हैं, जहाँ भी काम कर रहे होंगे, हमारे देश में कर रहे होंगे या गल्फ के किसी देश में कर रहे होंगे, मिडिल ईस्ट में कर रहे होंगे, लीबिया में, इराक में कर रहे होंगे, या अबू धाबी दुबई में कर रहे होंगे, शारजाह में कर रहे होंगे, रसल खैमा में कर रहे होंगे, अल्लामान में कर रहे होंगे, या सऊदीया में कर रहे होंगे, या आपके ओमान कर रहे होंगे, कुवैत में कर रहे होंगे, या कतार में कर रहे होंगे, या बहरीन में कर रहे होंगे। उन लोगों के लिए है जो हिंदी कम समझते हैं, शायद उर्दू भी समझते हैं और पंजाबी भी समझते होंगे। ज़्यादातर वो लोग हैं वो इंग्लिश नहीं इतना समझते होंगे, लेकिन वर्क में, फील्ड में, ग्राउंड में वही लोग ज़्यादा हैं। फोरमैन भी हैं उनमें, दूसरे हैं और लोग भी हैं जो बहुत ऊंचे नहीं हैं, बहुत नीचे भी नहीं हैं। उन लोगों के लिए ऐसी लैंग्वेज जो आमतौर पर साइट पर यूज़ की जाती है, उनके लिए मैं कुछ बता देता हूँ, पूरा नहीं बता रहा हूँ, इन्फॉर्मेशन के लिए कि आखिर हम ये सब क्यों कर रहे हैं, मैं ये बातें आपसे क्यों करना चाहता हूँ, इसका क्या तात्पर्य है, इसकी क्या मंजिल है। मंजिल सिर्फ ये कि है कि हम चाहते हैं वो इन्फॉर्मेशन जो हमें मालूम हो सकती है, एक अभियंता होने के नाते, एक मुहंदिस होने के नाते, एक इंजीनियर होने के नाते, वो बातें उन लोगों तक पहुँच जाएँ जिनके लिए वो बनी हैं। क्योंकि ये बातें मेरे लिए नहीं बनी है, खाली एक दूसरे इंजीनियर के लिए नहीं बनी है, ये खाली किसी मैनेजर के लिए नहीं बनी है। ये बातें बनाई जाती है कि आपके काम में कितना साफ काम करें, कितने आप सेफ्टी से, आप हेल्प से काम करें कि आपको शरीर को नुकसान ना हो, आपके दिमाग को नुकसान ना हो, आपकी ज़िंदगी को नुकसान ना हो, आप अपने घर वापस जाएँ जैसे आए थे वैसे ही, कमाने के बाद, अपनी मंजिल पूरी करने के बाद, क्योंकि आपके घर पे कोई ना कोई आपका इंतज़ार कर रहा है। तो उसके इंतजार को आप लाश में नहीं जा सकते, उसके इंतजार को कॉफिन के अंदर नहीं जाना चाहिए, उसके इंतजार को एक ऐसे भेजा चाहिए कि सेहतमंद आदमी घर वापस जाए, खाता हुआ, पीता हुआ, बीमारी से फ्री। वो आदमी अपने घर जाए, जाके आपके माता पिता, आपके भाई बहन, आपकी बीवी, आपके बच्चे आपसे देखकर खुश हो। क्योंकि एक तो आपने इनके लिए पैसा कमाया, अपनी ज़िंदगी को रिस्क लेके, और दूसरा अच्छी हेल्प दे रहे हैं, उनको सुख दे रहे हैं और खुद भी आगे बढ़ रहे हैं। क्योंकि काम से आप आगे बढ़ेंगे, आप खाली नाम से आगे नहीं बढ़ेंगे, और कोई भी व्यक्ति नाम से आगे नहीं बढ़ता है, काम से बढ़ता है। ये बात हम जब तक समझ लेंगे, हमको आवश्यकता है उन लोगों को समझाने की जो ये बात समझते नहीं। कई बार गुस्सा आ जाता है, जोश हो जाता है, अरे देखा जाएगा यार, कर दो इस एक्टिविटी को, कुछ नहीं होता, हम जब, मैंने बहुत उससे देखा है, बहुत, हर कंट्री का, मिस्र का हो, सीरिया का हो, और किसी और कंट्री का हो, गल्फ का कहीं का भी आदमी है, लेबर का काम कर रहा है, उसे तकलीफ अच्छी नहीं लगती, बार बार बेल्ट को इधर से निकालेगा, उधर लगाएगा, बार बार हेलमेट को हटाएगा, रखेगा, गर्मी है, 45 डिग्री चल रहा है, उसको प्रॉब्लम होती है, मैं मानता हूँ उसको प्रॉब्लम होती है, क्योंकि प्रॉब्लम होगी। आफ्टर ऑल ह्यूमन बीइंग है। 45 डिग्री, 40 डिग्री, 90% ह्यूमिडिटी, 75% ह्यूमिडिटी, पानी नहीं ठंडा पी रहा है ऊपर से, और उसको तकलीफ तो होगी ही, क्योंकि हवा इकट्ठी हो गई है, उसको गर्मी लगती है काम करने में, उसको पसीना आता है, आखिर इंसान है, वो मशीन नहीं है। उसको तकलीफ होती है, हम मानते हैं, हम उस बात को, हम उसकी इज्जत देते हैं, लेकिन तकलीफ ये ज़्यादा हुई जब वो गिर जाएगा, जब सर फट जाएगा, अस्पताल में दाखिल होगा, आईसीयू में दाखिल होगा, खून नहीं मिलेगा डालने के लिए शरीर में उसके, तब तकलीफ ज़्यादा होगी। या थोड़ी तकलीफ ठीक है, आप 10 घंटे में, 10 घंटे ना सही 8 घंटे तो काम करेंगे, 6 घंटे तो काम करेंगे, लेकिन सेफ तो करेंगे। आप खुद को चोट नहीं मारेंगे, दूसरे को चोट नहीं लगेगी, वो ज़्यादा अच्छा है। या आप मर जाएं, गिर जाएं और काम सारा रुक जाए, पूरी साइट बंद हो जाए कि आदमी मर गया, वो अच्छा ज़्यादा है। और एम्प्लॉय को, इंश्योरेंस वाले को पैसे देने पड़े या कुछ करने पड़े, लॉस पे लॉस पे लॉस पे लॉस लॉस। या आप थोड़ा केयरफुल होकर काम करें, सेफ काम करें, क्वालिटी का भी ध्यान रखेंगे, सेफ्टी का भी ध्यान रखेंगे, प्रोग्रेस का भी ध्यान रखेंगे, और शांति रहेगी, शांति से रहेंगे, गुस्सा नहीं आएगा, हबड़ दबड़ नहीं होगी, वो काम ज़्यादा अच्छा है। ठीक है, आपने आधे घंटे काम किया, कम मान लेते हैं, लेकिन सही तो हुआ, आप गिरे तो नहीं। मैं नहीं चाहता कि आप खड़े खड़े ऊपर से नीचे गिर जाएं, 1 सेकंड लगता है गिरने में, देर नहीं लगती है, कितनी भी सेफ्टी आपने ली हो, फिर भी सुपरविजन की आवश्यकता होती है, सेल्फ सुपरविजन हो, दूसरा सुपरविजन हो। अब सेफ्टी वाले कहते हैं हम साइड पे खड़े हैं, सेफ्टी वाले सेफ्टी नहीं रखेंगे, स्टाफ सेफ्टी का है, सेफ्टी सुपरवाइजर है, सेफ्टी इंजीनियर है, सेफ्टी हेल्पर्स है, सब कुछ है, लेकिन वो सिर्फ देख के बता देंगे जी आप नहीं ठीक नहीं, आप ऐसा करो। वो आपको इंजीनियरिंग नहीं देंगे सेफ्टी की, वो कहेंगे देखो आपने ये ठीक नहीं, ऐसे करो, यहाँ पे आपने बेल्ट नहीं लगाया, यहाँ पे आपने ये नहीं लगाया, यहाँ पे आपने स्टेयर लैडर नहीं लगाया, यहाँ पे प्लेटफॉर्म नहीं लगाया, इस पे तो बहुत चीज़ें वो आपको बता देंगे, लेकिन वो नहीं करेंगे। वो तो कहेंगे आप कीजिए, नहीं तो आप साइड से निकल जाइए। अगर आप हेलमेट नहीं, आप बाहर हो जाइए, जूते आपने नहीं पहने बाहर हो जाइए, आपने जैकेट नहीं पहनी बाहर हो जाइए। उनका काम सिर्फ इतना है, क्योंकि इससे आगे वो नहीं कर सकते, उनके पास पोटेंशियल नहीं है, रिसोर्सेज नहीं है, लेकिन कर सकते हैं अगर वो चाहें तो। खैर मैं उस बात पे अब नहीं जाना चाहता, मैं कुछ क्रिटिसिज्म नहीं कर रहा, मैं तो बात करना चाहता हूँ कि आप सेफ कैसे रहें। इस बात पे थोड़ा हिंदी में उर्दू में बात कर रहा हूँ आपसे। अरबी में मैं इतना मैं बोल नहीं सकता, इतनी अच्छी अरबी समझ में थोड़ा बहुत सकता हूँ, लेकिन इतना मैं समझता हूँ शुगल जो कहते हैं वर्क को, शुगल मजबूत, यानी शुगल मजबूत कहते हैं, शुगल मजबूत का पक्का काम, मजबूत काम वही होता है जो सेफ होता है, मजबूत काम वही होता है जो अच्छा होता है। शुगल मजबूत लाजिम, वर्क मस्ट बी स्ट्रॉन्ग, वर्क मस्ट बी सेफ, वर्क मस्ट बी ड्यूरेबल। मजबूत यानी मजबूत, शुगल मजबूत, ये मतलब होता है। सिंपल बात मीन्स अपने आप सोचो, आपको बताया जाएगा, आपको सेफ्टी का संबंध दिया भी जाएगा, आपको हेलमेट मिलेगा, जूता मिलेगा फीते वाला, और पानी मिलेगा अच्छा पीने का, आपको आई ग्लासेस भी मिलेंगे जहाँ आवश्यकता होगी, और आपको ओवरऑल्स भी मिलेंगे जहाँ आवश्यकता होगी, पूरे के पूरे कपड़े जो ऊपर से पहने जाते हैं। आपको टाइट रहना है साइड पे, आपको लूज काम नहीं करना है, आपको ध्यान से काम करना है, आपको उछल कूद नहीं मचानी है, आपको अपना ध्यान नहीं बटाना है। कुछ लोग होते हैं साइड में लगे हैं मोबाइल में, छत पे खड़े हैं, ऊपर खड़े हैं, स्कैप फोल्डिंग पे खड़े हैं, प्लेटफॉर्म पे खड़े हैं, लगे मोबाइल में, मेरा फोन आ गया और पता लगा पैर नीचे गया, कहीं होल था, पैर नीचे गया, धाम। आपका मोबाइल का बात जरूरी है या आपकी जिंदगी जरूरी है, ये आपको सोचना है। मुझे सोचना है आपके बारे में, लेकिन मैं आपके बारे में पूरे समय नहीं सोच सकता। मैं कुछ देर के लिए आपके पास आऊंगा भी नहीं, नीचे से देख लूंगा कि आप सही कर रहे हैं कि नहीं कर रहे, आपने हार्नेस बांधी कि नहीं बांधी, बेल्ट बांधी कि नहीं बांधी। मैं आपको कह सकता हूँ भाई आप बांधे थे तो नीचे आ जाइए, छोड़ दीजिए काम को। उसके बाद आप फिर चले जाते हैं, झूठ जाने दो, गया इंजीनियर आया था, मोहिंदस आया था, चला गया, सुपरवाइजर आया था, फोरमैन आया था, जाने दो ना, मैं तो आराम से बैठ के बात करूंगा। तो आप मेरा कुछ नहीं लेंगे, अपनी जान से जाएंगे, अपने जिंदगी अपने बच्चों की से जाएंगे, अपने सपोर्टिंग सिस्टम से जाएंगे। जरा सी गलती के लिए आप इतनी बड़ी रिस्क क्यों लेना चाहते हैं? ठीक है, आप सैलरी कमा रहे हैं, आप काम कर रहे हैं, लेकिन काम का मतलब ये नहीं होता कि अपनी जान दे दो, अपनी टांग तोड़वा दो, अपना पैर तोड़वा दो, अपना हाथ तोड़वा दो, ये मतलब तो नहीं होता। ये बात बहुत जरूरी है समझना। आप कहने की बात है, हम भी कह रहे हैं यार आधे घंटे कम नहीं होता, ऐसा नहीं होता। आप बल्कि ज्यादा काम करेंगे, सेफ होंगे आप, आपके अंदर पानी भी होगा, आपके अंदर डिहाइड्रेशन नहीं होगी, आपके अंदर एनर्जी पूरी होगी, खाना भी आप टाइम पे खाएंगे, थोड़ा रेस्ट भी आप करेंगे, चाय पीते तो चाय भी पियेंगे, ठंडा पीते तो ठंडा भी पियेंगे। जैसी आपकी डेली रिक्वायरमेंट है, रोज आप कैसा चाहते हैं वैसा होगा। आप थोड़ी समझ लीजिए हम क्या चाहते हैं। हम आपको शिक्षित करना चाहते हैं, हम आपको सिखाना चाहते हैं कि काम कैसे सेफ्टी से किया जाए। आप जानते हैं, अच्छी तरह जानते हैं, लेकिन लापरवाही लापरवाही खत्म करने के लिए हम बैठे हैं, सेफ्टी वाले बैठे हैं और बैठे हैं, लेकिन खत्म तो आपको करनी पड़ेगी। मैंने बहुत से लोगों को देखा है साइडों पे, बेचारे को गर्मी लगती है, चुपचाप निकल छुप के चले जाते हैं, साइड पे जाके पकड़ो तो कहा है भाई आपका हेलमेट, जी वो तो मैं स्टोर में रख के आ गया। भैया आप स्टोर में क्यों रख के आ गए? नहीं वो गर्मी लग रही थी, सर में दर्द था मेरे। तो ऐसा करो भाई, स्टोर में जाओ और अपना सर भी वहां रख के आ जाओ, फिर यहाँ जाना। क्या करोगे आप? कोई सुनता नहीं आपकी बात, तो गुस्सा आ ही जाता है, टॉन्ट कसना ही पड़ता है सिखाने के लिए। आप भाग रहे हैं, बिना बात भाग रहे हैं, साइड है, पत्थर भी पड़े हैं रास्ते में, साफ नहीं है, कहीं ठोकर लग जाएगी, मटेरियल लेके जा रहे हैं, कुछ लेके जा रहे हैं, संभल के जाइए, धूल चल रही है, आंख पे अपना गॉगल लगा लीजिए, कुछ और कर लीजिए जो आपको बताया गया है, जो सामान दिया गया है। सेफ्टी का मतलब ये होता है। सेफ्टी खाली ये नहीं मैंने जूता पहन लिया ये वाला सेफ्टी का हेलमेट नहीं, बात ये नहीं है, इसके अलावा भी होता है। आप सीढ़ी से चढ़ रहे हैं, सीढ़ी फिनिश नहीं है, ऊपर नीचे है, कहीं भी कुछ ठोकर लग सकती है, साइड पे कहीं मसाला भी पड़ा होगा। वर्किंग में तो बहुत कुछ होता है, हर वक्त साइड साफ रखी नहीं जा सकती है। आप कूद रहे हैं कहीं जाके खड्डे में, क्यों कूद रहे हैं भाई? पैर टूट जाएगा आपका। आपको लैडर लगा के दिया, उससे उतरिए। आपको आफाधाफी किस चीज के मजा आ रहा है आपको कूदने में, भाग रहे हैं, कूद रहे हैं, धूल उड़ा रहे हैं, ऐसे सामान को उठा के ला रहे हैं जैसे आपके हाथ में दर्द होना चाहिए। आप ढंग से लाइए, आपको साधन मिलेगा, सब कुछ मिलेगा। मैं आप इससे जनरल बात कर रहा हूँ, मैं ये नहीं कर रहा कि जो मैंने बोला था उसे ट्रांसलेशन तर्जमा कर रहा हूँ, नहीं, मैं तर्जमा नहीं कर रहा हूँ, बिल्कुल नहीं कर रहा हूँ। मैं सिर्फ समझाने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ। डिटेल्स तो आपको बताई जाएंगी, आपके सुपरवाइजर को बताई जाएंगी, आपके आपके इंजीनियर को बताई जाएंगी, आपके फोरमैन को बताई जाएगी, जो आपको समझाएं। मैं आपको टूल बॉक्स स्टॉक नहीं बता रहा हूँ, वो बताई जाएगी आपको कि टूल बॉक्स स्टॉक क्या होती है। बहुत से लोग कहते हैं भाई टूल बॉक्स तो कोई बात ही नहीं करते। टूल बॉक्स तो वो समझते हैं कि जहाँ औजार रखे जाते हैं टूल बॉक्स होते हैं, आप जानते भी होंगे। जहाँ जिस डब्बे में औजार रखे जाते हैं, जहाँ भी स्टोर में रखे जाते हैं, कुछ भी होता है, हर 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 टूल की, हर औजार की अपनी कहानी होती है, अपनी कहानी होती है उसकी। वो क्या कहना चाहता है औजार, वो कहना चाहता है मुझे इस प्रकार से यूज करो, मेरा इस्तेमाल करो तो मैं काम करूंगा। वो बिजली का भी होता है, वो तेल से भी चलता है, वो कुछ और भी हो सकता है, वो मैनुअल भी चल सकता है। उसकी अपने अपने सबकी संज्ञाएं, आप सबके काम है। उन टूल्स के बारे में समझना होता है कि किस तरह से आप उसको चलाएं। उसको हम बोलते हैं टूल बॉक्स स्टॉक। तो वो डेली अलग अलग एक्टिविटी के हिसाब से होती है। अगर आपको औजार चलाना सही आता है, सेफ्टी से आता है कि मेरी उंगली में दर्द भी ना हो, मेरी टांग में दर्द भी ना हो, मेरे सर में दर्द भी ना हो, मेरा खून भी ना निकले, मेरे को चोट भी ना लगे, तो उसको आपको समझना होगा कि टूल बॉक्स से टूल को औजार का कैसे प्रयोग किया जाए। वो प्रयोग आना जरूरी है। आपको आता है, ये नहीं कह रहे आपको नहीं आता है, लेकिन आपको ये नहीं आता कि उसे सेफ कैसे चलाया जाए। जैसे ग्राइंडर को आप चलाते हैं, सेफ चलना चाहिए। आपकी आंख में भी उसके स्पार्क आ सकते हैं, आपको उंगली में भी सोच लग सकता है, उसके ऊपर गार्ड है कि नहीं है, ध्यान रखना चाहिए। जल्द छोड़ दो मैं देख लूँ, कुछ नहीं तो मैं एक्सपर्ट हूँ, सब कर लूँ। नहीं, आप एक्सपर्ट जरूर हैं, लेकिन आप सेफ्टी के एक्सपर्ट नहीं हैं, आप चलाने के एक्सपर्ट हैं। जिस तरह एक गाड़ी चलाने वाला होता है, कार ड्राइवर है, मेरे को आता है चलाना, मैं चला लूँ, मैं स्टीयरिंग चलाना आता है, मेरे को ब्रेक लगाना आता है, एक्सीलेटर लगाना आता है, ब्रेक। अरे आपको सब आता है, मानते हैं, आपने लाइसेंस भी लिया हुआ है, लेकिन आपने डिफेंसिव ड्राइविंग का मतलब नहीं जानते। आप नहीं जानते कि कैसे स्वयं को बचाएं और कैसे दूसरे को बचाएं। ये साइट है, यहाँ काम चल रहा है, यहाँ एक पक्का काम चल रहा है। आगे कितने साल यूज होगा, उस पक्के काम के लिए बहुत सारे कच्चे काम होते हैं, और कच्चे काम कच्चे होते हैं, हर समय ठीक नहीं रखे जा सकते। ये समझना जरूरी है। आपने लिया एक जेवीसी की मशीन, भारी भरकम है, रैंप से चढ़ा के ऊपर बिल्डिंग के अंदर ले आए, वो बिल्डिंग का डिजाइन उसके लिए नहीं हुआ था, आपको कौन समझाएगा। नीचे बेसमेंट अगर है, आपने फर्स्ट पे लेके आ गई, उस मशीन के लिए वो बेसमेंट डिजाइन नहीं हुआ है, लेकिन आपका ऑपरेटर है, अरे मैं बैठ रख के इसकी इसकी बकेट में ऊपर लेके चला जाता हूँ। वो भी सेफ्टी का बात है। भैया आप टूल आ रहे हैं, बिल्डिंग सेफ नहीं है, ठीक है अभी ये नहीं कर रही है आपकी वजह से, लेकिन ये वीक तो हो रही है। आप बार बार ला रहे हैं, खराब तो कर रहे हैं। यहाँ तो इसके अंदर उसकी स्ट्रेंथ आनी चाहिए थी कि ये लोड आएगा तो ये लेगी। टायर है, मशीन है, कितना प्रेशर होता है। तो आप ऐसा काम क्यों कर रहे हैं अपने सिर्फ थोड़ी देर बचाने के लिए कि मैं जल्दी करूँ उसको। जो उसके लिए रास्ता है उस रास्ते से वो जाएगा। ये बात खाली आदमी पे लागू नहीं होती, मशीन पे भी लागू होती है। आप जैक हैमर में काम कर रहे हैं, करे जा रहे हैं, करे जा रहे हैं, करे जा रहे हैं, करे जा रहे हैं, देख नहीं रहे, मजा आ रहा है आपको शुरू शुरू में। आप करिए, अच्छी तरह से करिए, लेकिन ये भी देख लीजिए कहीं वो आपके पैर में ना लग जाए गलती से, कहीं उससे कोई नीचे से मिट्टी का पार्टिकल आपकी आंख में ना आ जाए, कोई कंकर आपकी आंख में ना आ जाए। जैक हैमर में मिट्टी काटेगा नहीं, जैक हैमर तो रॉक्स को, चट्टान को काटेगा या भारी पत्थर को काटेगा। तो कोई भी पार्टिकल आपकी आंख में आ सकता है, आपके नाक में आ सकता है, आपके मुंह में भी आ सकता है, आपने खोला है तो वो भी देखना जरूरी होता है कि आप किस मुंह में किस तरह से उस पर काम करेंगे। बात करने से नहीं होता है, एक्सपीरियंस से होता है, तजर्बा होना चाहिए। एक बार करोगे गलती करोगे, दूसरी बार करोगे, एक टाइम आएगा कि आप सेल्फ सुपरविजन करोगे। और वो स्टेज हम लाना चाहते हैं कि हर वर्कर सेल्फ स्टेज पे आ जाए, वो स्वयं भी अपना सुपरवाइजर बन जाए कि मैं किस तरह से सेफ रह सकता हूँ, कि मुझे किसी सुपरवाइजर की जरूरत नहीं है, मैं अपना काम सेफ से जानता हूँ। हम उसको एक्सपर्ट वर्कर कह सकते हैं कि अपनी हेल्थ के लिए जिम्मेदार है ये। उसे ही चार्ज हैंड बना दिया जाता है, उसे ही फोरमैन बना दिया जाता है, लेकिन उस स्टेज तक पहुंचने के लिए आपको काम तो करना पड़ेगा। और उसी के लिए हम कहते हैं कि स्वच्छ काम को, स्वच्छ कैसे, सेफ्टी को क्या कहेंगे हिंदी में, बिना किसी प्रॉब्लम के काम करो, आराम से काम करो, उस काम सही होना चाहिए और काम क्वालिटी का होना चाहिए, और कह सकते हैं आप आपकी हेल्थ भी खराब नहीं होनी चाहिए और काम की हेल्थ भी खराब नहीं होनी चाहिए, और वो काम जिस पर्पस के लिए हम कर रहे हैं वो होना चाहिए। और वो पर्पस तो खैर आपको नहीं पता लगेगा क्योंकि आप तो वर्कर हैं। कोई बात नहीं, आपको पर्पस नहीं पता, हमें उसकी चिंता नहीं है। आप अपने सुपरवाइजर से पूछ सकते हैं, क्योंकि उसको मालूम होना चाहिए वो काम कर रहा है तो किस पर्पस के लिए कर रहा है। उसको बताया जाना चाहिए कि इस काम करने का तरीका क्या है। उसको लिख के भी दिया जाता है, उसको कहते हैं मेथड स्टेटमेंट। वो मेथड स्टेटमेंट में लिखा होता है कि ये काम किस तरह से किया जाएगा, इसमें क्या इस्तेमाल होगा, मटेरियल सामग्री क्या लगेगी, इसमें और क्या चीज़ लगेगी, इसमें वर्कर्स किस तरह काम करेंगे, वो सारी, इसकी सेफ्टी किस तरह ली जाएगी, इसकी क्वालिटी किस तरह ली जाएगी, और ये कितने स्पीड से काम किया जाएगा, वो उसमें लिखा होता है। वो आपको नहीं पता लगेगा, लेकिन आपको बताना है, आपका सुपरवाइजर आपको बताए कि आपको ये सावधानियां इसमें बरतनी। वो सावधानी आपको बरतेंगे तो आप, हो सकता है नुकसान में ना आए, आपको चोट ना लगे, आपको तो ठीक है काम जैसा है वैसा होगा, कितनी स्पीड से होगा, हम तो काम के कल्चर को चेंज नहीं कर सकते, हम इतनी भी जल्दी स्पीड से नहीं जाना चाहते कि हम गिर जाएं, हम नहीं चाहते एक्सीडेंट करना। उन सभी को बताना है आप लोगों को। उसी के लिए ये बात हम कर रहे हैं सेफ्टी की, क्योंकि हमने देखा है लोग नहीं परवाह करते हैं, लोग आफादाफी में रहते हैं। आफादाफी होनी चाहिए लेकिन सिस्टम से होनी चाहिए, प्रोसीजर से होनी चाहिए, नहीं होती। इसलिए ये जरूरी है हम आपको समझाएं कि हम क्यों आपसे ये बात कर रहे हैं। लैंग्वेज की प्रॉब्लम है, लेकिन साइट पे आप इशारे समझते हैं, इशारा भी एक लैंग्वेज होती है, सब समझते हैं। अब सिग्नल जिसको कहा जाता है, हाथ का सिग्नल या किसी और चीज का सिग्नल, वो भी मशीनों को चलाने के लिए दिए जाते हैं, बैंकिंग मैन देते हैं या दूसरे देते हैं, काम के लिए भी दिए जाते हैं। दूर मैं खड़ा हूँ, आपको मैं बात नहीं कर सकता, आपसे मेरे मोबाइल से बात नहीं हो सकती है, तो आपको इशारे में बात की जाती है, वो भी एक होता है तरीका। आप चढ़ रहे हैं किसी ऊंचे पे, पैदल चढ़ रहे हैं, हमने जीने लगाए हैं, जीने से कोई चीज निकल जाती है, आप गिर जाते हैं, आप ही खुद गिर जाते हैं, ऊपर से लटक जाते हैं आप बेल्ट पे। बहुत सी चीजें साइड पे होती है, खड्डा गहरा है, आपने ध्यान नहीं दिया, आपने रेलिंग भी नहीं लगाई, कुछ नहीं लगाया, गार्ड रेल नहीं लगाई, धड़ाम से आप नीचे गए, मिट्टी गए, केबिन हो गई, मान लीजिए आप नीचे गए, तो वो सारी चीजें देखने रखती हैं, यही सेफ्टी है। हमने यहाँ कुछ स्केच भी लगाए हैं, आप देख लीजिएगा वीडियो में, हमने यूआरएल डाला है, उस यूआरएल डाला है, वो है script.com का यूआरएल है, उसमें हमने कुछ कुछ चित्र लगाए हैं, कुछ कुछ डायग्राम लगाए हैं, किस तरह से, हालांकि वो टेक्निकल डायग्राम्स हैं, वो फोटो नहीं है, वो टेक्निकल डायग्राम है, ड्राइंग टाइप है, उसमें बता सकते हैं, बताया गया है एक्सकेवेशन में कहाँ पे किस तरह से लेना चाहिए। उसमें कई स्केचेस हैं, 20-25 के आसपास हैं, वो आप हम हर एक उसमें लगा देंगे उसका यूआरएल, जितने भी आगे बात करेंगे, और हो सकेगा तो पिछली में भी लगा देंगे। उससे आपको एक आइडिया होता है कि किस तरह से ये सेफ्टी मेजर्स लिए जाते हैं। इस सेफ्टी मेजर्स का मतलब है हम इस सेफ्टियों के क्या इलाज कर सकते हैं कि हम सेफ रहें, काम हम सेफ रहें, साइट भी साफ रहे, सेफ रहे, साइट पे गंदगी भी ना हो, हमारे कपड़े तो खैर खराब होंगे, उसको हम नहीं रोक सकते हैं, लेकिन कम से कम नुकसान हमें हो, कम से कम सर दर्द हो, कम से कम थकावट हो, ऐसा हम चाहते हैं। और उसी के लिए हम चाहते हैं इन बातों को फॉर्मल रूप में एक तरीके से, अब लिख के देने से तो किसी को पढ़ना नहीं है, हम जानते हैं हमारी लाइन में पढ़ने का संस्कृति नहीं है, पढ़ने का आदत नहीं है, हम लोग ज़्यादा पढ़ाई पर ध्यान नहीं देते हैं, और चाहे वो इंजीनियर भी क्यों ना हो, फोरमैन भी क्यों ना हो, वो भी लोग कागजों से दूर भागते हैं। सब ड्राइंग वगैरह वो देख लेते हैं, वो मैं मानता हूँ, उसका तो खैर मैं उनको सल्यूट करता हूँ कि फोरमैन भी कुछ हद तक, सुपरवाइजर भी खुद हद तक, और यहाँ तक कि आर्टिजन मेसन हो गया या कारपेंटर हो गया, कुछ हद तक वो भी कुछ कुछ ड्राइंग समझ लेते हैं अगर उनको दी जाए तो। लेकिन डिटेल स्टडी वो नहीं कर सकते, कोई भी नहीं कर सकता इंजीनियर्स के अलावा। वो डिटेल स्टडी काम इंजीनियर करना होता है, उसके बाद वो किसको कौन सा स्केच देता है, क्या नहीं देता है, वो उसको देखना है, किस तरह से कम्युनिकेशन, संचार किस तरह चलाना है, और बार बार जाकर चेक करना है। इसलिए वो उन्हीं लोगों में से कुछ लोगों को एक्सपीरियंस दे दे के सिखा सिखा के सेलेक्ट करते हैं कि आप जाइए और बार बार साइट पर देख के रहिए, हमको बता देना कोई प्रॉब्लम आए तो ये भी एक तरीका होता है कम्युनिकेट करने का। उस आदमी, एक हम 50 आदमी में से 2 आदमी छांट लिए, तो ये रिलायबल से लगते हैं, कुछ पढ़े लिखे, हम इनको गाइड करते जाते हैं तो आगे। हमने बहुत से ऐसे आदमी तैयार किए, यहाँ तक कि हमने स्लम टेस्ट लेते थे, हमने आदमी को, पाकिस्तानियों को ट्रेन किया, कुछ और को ट्रेन किया, लोग ट्रेन हो जाते हैं। ये नहीं कह सकते, ठीक है उनके पास डिग्रियां नहीं है, उनको ज़्यादा इंग्लिश नहीं आती है, वो लोग बात समझते हैं, देखते हैं तो समझ जाते हैं, कर जाते हैं, छोटे छोटे लेवल की बातें वो समझ जाते हैं। उनको कहा जाए उसको क्यूब में डाल देना, निकाल के उसमें पानी में डाल देना, ये कर लेना, वो कर लेना, वो सब वो कर लेते हैं। इतनी ही हेल्प काफ़ी होती है। आप इसको ट्रेन करें, समझ तो रहा है, ठीक है, आगे वो क्या करेगा बाद में वो देखा जाएगा। लेकिन इंसान है, दिमाग उसमें भी है, वो नहीं पढ़ सका किसी वजह से, लेकिन समझता है। लैंग्वेज की आप इंग्लिश में नहीं बात करेंगे उससे, कुछ लोग इंग्लिश में ही बात कर रहे थे, लेकिन मैं उसको जरूरी नहीं समझता, जिस लैंग्वेज में समझता है आप समझा दीजिए। अब हमने मेजर बनाया सल, तो उसमें आप कोई भी भाषा के नो स्केल तो आप पढ़ना जानते ही हैं, कंक्रीट आप समझते ही हैं, कितनी बार वो रॉड से करना है वो भी आप समझते हैं, कैसे उसको ढूंढना है वो समझते हैं। तो ये सब बातें बताई जा सकती हैं किसी को भी, और किसी को भी कोई भी एक्टिविटी समझाई जा सकती है। तो सेफ्टी भी उसमें एक आती है कि आपको कैसे प्लेटफॉर्म तैयार करना है, हिलना नहीं चाहिए या मजबूत होना चाहिए, प्रॉप उसका या कुछ होना चाहिए, उसके ऊपर गार्ड रेल होनी चाहिए। ये बातें होती हैं जो बहुत जरूरी होती हैं समझाने के लिए, एक बार आपको बताना पड़ेगा। एक बार बता दो तो रिपीट करने, तो तोते की बात है, तोते की कविता गाई और तोता टर्म बार बार वो वैसे ही करते जाएंगे, अच्छी बात है अगर करते जाएंगे तो। इसी को तो कहते हैं ह्यूमन डेवलपमेंट, इसी को तो कहते हैं स्किल डेवलपमेंट। आपको स्किल आनी चाहिए, लैंग्वेज आपकी स्किल नहीं है, लैंग्वेज एक कम्युनिकेशन है। आप जितने स्किल सीखेंगे बहुत जरूरी है। आप सेफ रहें, आपका काम अच्छा हो, क्वालिटी का हो, मजबूत हो, यही तो चाहिए इंजीनियरिंग। और क्या चाहिए, सोचने वाले तो बहुत बैठे हैं, वो बताएंगे आपको क्या करना है। ड्राइंग भी आती है, बन के डिजाइन भी आते हैं तैयार होके, कैसे काम किया जाए वो भी आता है, शॉप ड्राइंग भी आती है, वर्किंग ड्राइंग भी आती है, बड़ा कुछ आता है साइडों पे। भारत में शायद इतना चलन नहीं है, भारत में बातें ज्यादा की जाती हैं, काम ये तो कल्चर है हमारा। हम एक तो लिखे पे विश्वास नहीं करते, लिखे को पढ़ना भी नहीं चाहते, समझना भी नहीं चाहते, और ये इंजीनियरिंग बनी है, सब फील्डों में ऐसा है। मैं किसी की बुराई करने के लिए यहाँ नहीं बैठा, हमारी संस्कृति ऐसी हो चुकी है तो मैं क्या करूँ, सबका कसूर है इसमें, एक को कसूर नहीं कह सकते, लेकिन इसे चेंज करना होगा, बदलना होगा इसको, तभी हम आगे बढ़ने चाहेंगे। हम कोई कागज, इंजीनियर खास तौर से कागज से भागता है, मैंने देखा है, डॉक्टर भी कागज से भागता है, सब भागते हैं। ठीक है, आप अपनी साइड पर अपने काम में तो रहिए। आप जब तक भागेंगे नुकसान पाएंगे, समझना तो पड़ेगा, तो पढ़े लिखे नहीं पढ़ेंगे तो कोई जल्दी वाला तो पड़ेगा नहीं, रेडी वाला तो पड़ेगा नहीं, पढ़ेंगे तो आप ही। मत पढ़िए, नहीं पढ़ते तो एहसान किस बात का कर रहे हैं, काम नहीं करेंगे फिर आप पढ़ेंगे नहीं तो। आप कहते हैं बस मेरे को टेलीफोन पे बात हो जानी चाहिए, मैं कागज नहीं पढ़ना चाहता, मैं स्पेसिफिकेशन नहीं पढ़ना चाहता, तो आप सेफ्टी कैसे लेंगे? आपको तो पता भी नहीं काम में होना क्या है। सेफ्टी के भी तो स्टेटमेंट लिखे जाते हैं, जिस तरह क्वालिटी के लिखे जाते हैं, जिस तरह काम करने के लिए लिखे जाते हैं, तो कौन बताएगा आपको भाई? आपको कौन बताएगा बताइए? अगर आप स्वयं पढ़ के नहीं समझेंगे तो कौन बताएगा? आपके साथ कोई हर वक्त बैठ के काम तो कराएगा नहीं, और हर वक्त